Hi, everyone. Good to be here today. My name is Diane Willock. I'm the customer success coach here at Supermums in the US. And once again, I'm joined by my colleague, Maria Stanford. She is our customer success coach in the UK. And today we're going to talk about business analysis scripts and why they are important for you to use, and how and when to use those scripts. So if you have any questions, please do post them in the comments. We're just going to go through a little bit about this today, this topic, answer any questions and any comments that you might have. So Maria, I don't know if you want to kind of start it off and talk a little bit about business analysis skills and utilizing scripts.
Yeah, sure. I can start on that. So part of that business analysis role is really about extraction, isn't it, Diane? Of kind of, getting all of the information that you need to be able to really utilize that CRM system. And certainly from a consultancy skills perspective, because there's lots of skills that obviously sit under that umbrella, business analysis is obviously one of those. And so, having those scripts, and what we mean by scripts is kind of having almost like a questionnaire, if you like, of questions that you will be able to utilize in your workspace, or if you're on a project. And what those scripts allow you to do is really kind of extract all of the information needed to be able to do a really good business analysis overview.
Right.
And I kind of think, having that structure is a bit, again, I always refer back to coaching because we are coaches. It's all in the questions, isn't it?
Right.
Those kinds of powerful questions that extract all of that information. And so sometimes I kind of think if you haven't got the right questions, you don't get the right
answers. Right. Correct. That's true.
And so how do you then deliver on that project? So I think that's really where those business scripts really come into their own, don't they, and hold the value.
Right. I think so too. It's again about asking the right questions so that you understand, what are the requirements, what are the specific requirements for that organization. It's really taking that deep dive into what are the functional and non-functional requirements, what is the system going to do and need to do for that organization, and how does that those requirements need to happen. So again, the business analysis scripts are great because they kind of provide the template, right? The template for you to be able to use in different scenarios, depending on, what system or what are the requirements for that particular organization. So it makes you look like that expert because you're prepared. And I think that's really important too, isn't it, Maria, to look like you're confident and you're prepared when you're going in there, because if you're going to be the one that is going to be implementing and helping to implement these changes in an organization, you want to feel like you are confident and you have the ability to, again, get to those requirements and make sure that they are being implemented and followed, and in what way they are. So you want to have that confidence. So having those business analysis scripts kind of gives you that outline of those key questions that you're going to have to ask to make sure that you are understanding fully what those requirements are.
Yeah. And those scripts that, Supermums has created and Heather's created for this consultancy skills course, these are questions that have been in progress for years,
Right.
So, eventually in a business analyst role, you will get the right questions, but it takes such a long time, doesn't it? Because you've got to see the failure, perhaps, of where you haven't asked the right question and something's fouled. So it's really kind of a fantastic tool so that you confidently, as you just said about confidently, can go into somewhere and know that these are really key questions that are going to give you the answers that you need. And as I say, you would learn that over years of doing that role, but actually we've prepared all of that for you.
Right.
You've got a brilliant tool to be able to take him right off of the bat, which then does make you look confident, because
it makes you look confident, like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're exactly right. It's trial and error kind of before that. So if you don't have those years of experience, or if you're the one that's, recommending or trying to, put forth this project, you want to make sure that, again, yeah, you feel confident in what you're doing and what you're suggesting, and asking the right questions. So I think it's an invaluable tool to have. You can use this based on someone else's experience. Heather's experience is going through this and being a consultant for a long time, and using those business analysis skills. So this is, done for you. Again, makes you look like the expert. It kind of eases, your stress a little bit in that respect. And I think it's important to think about too, if it minimizes that risk, so to speak, because if you're, performing how you should be performing and meeting those requirements, then, less time spent. Your time spent on the project probably decreases, your budget, less likely to go over budget. Performance increases. So again, if you're really getting to the requirements and documenting those requirements, I think that's we talk about this quite a bit with business analysis skills, is the importance of documentation, right?
Yeah.
Documenting, again, the steps, the processes that need to occur to make sure that you're seeing your ROI from that. So that's important. But your performance doubles if those requirements are being met and you're doing it correctly. And again, less chance to go over budget, less time spent on this. So it's really important, I think, too. Yeah, as part of your
really
toolkit.
Mm-hmm. I kind of also think that, there's kind of two sides of that, isn't there? Because one, those scripts allow you to have the questions, but it gives you an area where you can use then an answers box. So you can always go back to that. You can always refer back to that. And I don't know about yourself, Diane, but certainly for me, sometimes I have a conversation and I come off of that call and I kind of think, oh, I really wish I'd asked this question, because this would be really helpful. Mm-hmm. So actually having that there set out in that template, it does allow you to gather everything in that one time and then perhaps go away and look at that. And then if there is anything, you're not kind of keep going back on individual questions, which again comes back to time management, doesn't it? You want to be able to really be efficient with your time on that project.
Yes. Right. That's important. I think that's, a main reason that there is, unsatisfactory outcomes is, if it takes too long, if it goes over budget, if it's not performing the way it should be performing. So as much as humanly possible, you want to kind of check off those boxes and be very thorough. And I think having those scripts, having that outline is kind of an assurance to you. And you're right. You can go back, you could take a look at, the answers to those questions and see if there is follow-up. Ultimately there's going to be follow-up, but it kind of prompts you into what else do you need to know? What other follow-up do you need? Again, it's all about, we provide scripts, don't we, for all the kind of different orgs and all the different clouds, so to speak. So depending on what situation that you're in, you can do those checks, those health checks with your organization and find out where they're at. And again, what questions to ask for what requirements you might need in a certain situation.
Yeah. So I mean, those subjects. So we've obviously got a number of subjects.
Right.
Community, cloud, payment integration, events management. I mean, the list kind of goes on there, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And one of the kind of really good resources that we can actually give you a link for that you can download, as Diane just mentioned, is the health org check. Mm-hmm. And what that does allow you to do is really kind of go in with that overview, isn't it? That the health org check. Okay, what as a whole bird's eye view of that organization. And then the individual business analysis scripts can then help you in those different areas to then pinpoint. And I guess also prioritize is really important, isn't it, Diane? To kind of prioritize what those projects look like once you've
Right.
done that overall health org.
Mhm.
Okay, what's, say if it is Sales Cloud, that kind of, once you've done that health org check, that really needs some attention, you can go straight to that script and then use
Mhm.
that. Okay, and then what's the next priority that we need to look at? So you
Right.
can just utilize those really when needed, can't you, throughout that project management process?
Right, exactly. It comes in handy whenever, no matter what, timeline you're on, and
Yeah.
where, what you're thinking, what's most needed in your organization at the time.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah, you can just go back to your scripts for each of those different areas, and check in. Yeah, that health org check is really great. I think we'll make sure that we put the link in after we're done here, so that everybody has that and can utilize that.
Yeah, it's a great insight actually as to what those scripts can really look like and what value they can bring.
Mhm.
Because that's just one of many, isn't it? Like we've got so many scripts that will actually be supplied on the consultancy skills course. But that health org check really does give you a taste of kind of how detailed they are, and what those questions might look like and
Mhm.
how helpful they will be. Because I think the actual health org check is something like 18 pages long. So
Yeah,
if you're
right.
trying to go in and do that yourself,
Right.
without that script, that's a lot of knowledge that you have to have prior
To
to
going
going
in.
in, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then you'd have to do that yourself. So this is just a great way to get you started,
Yeah.
and to help you out. So yeah. So just trying to see if there's anybody on right now. It doesn't look like it, but
Let's have a look.
again, we'll leave that link for that health check
Yeah.
for you, so that you can download that. And again, as part of our consultancy skills course, you learn all those business analysis skills, and all those different templates are available to you as part of our consultancy skills course. And our next one is coming up in October. So if you have an interest in that, definitely reach out to us just to talk a little bit more about what you'll be learning in that class, and what are the advantages to you, no matter where you're at in your Salesforce journey, to having some of those consultancy skills. We've talked a lot about that over the last couple weeks. So
We have, we are here to talk, aren't we, about any of those. So if anything's kind of unsure about those scripts, or if you wanted to kind of have a better insight as to what those questions might look like, then do reach out to Diane and myself. We are happy to kind of chat through any questions or queries, or pop them obviously into the chat here, and we will monitor that, won't we, Diane, kind of as the day goes on. So certainly for anyone that's watching on catch up, we can still answer your questions
yep.
at a later stage. So make sure that you pop them in so that we can, so that we can help.
Yep, that's perfect. Okay, great. Yeah, I think I know it's kind of short and sweet today. It's a quiet day for us, but hopefully this brought a little bit of insight into what are those business analysis scripts, and how and why they are important for you to use, and an important toolkit for you. And again, just as a reminder, just let us know if there's any questions you want to learn a little bit more about those, and pay attention. We will put the health check resource for you in the comment section, so that you can download that for yourself and just get a little bit of a taste of what those are like. And again, we're here to answer any of your questions, or feel free to schedule in a time to talk to us, and reach out to us on LinkedIn if you want as well, and say hello, and schedule a time to talk. That's perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Diane.
Okay, great. Thanks, Maria. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.